Good morning, friends. Previously in this chapter, we started exercise 13.1 and we completed first 4 questions. Okay. So, in that we learn about the direct proportion. These are the example of direct proportion. Sometime in exam, you might have confusion that the question is about direct proportion or inverse proportion. So, at that time, you need to think in mind that first quantity increase, then what would be the change in a second quantity? Inverse proportion that we learn later, but inverse proportion means what? If one quantity increase and other quantities decrease. When we increase one quantity, other quantities decrease, then it will be inverse proportion. And if we increase first quantity and second quantity is also increased, then it is a direct proportion. Clear? So you need to think in mind that it is first after increasing first quantity, second quantity is increasing or decreasing. Clear? So if it is increasing or decreasing both quantity, then it is a direct proportion. And if increase in a one may leads to decrease in a second, that will be inverse proportion. Clear? So here the question, example 5. A photograph of bacteria enlarged 50,000 times attain a length of 5 cm. What is the actual length of bacteria? Here, after enlarging 50,000 times, the length of bacteria is 5 cm. So to find the actual length, will be 5 divided 50,000. This is the enlarged length. 50,000. After enlarging 50,000 times, it may lead to 5 cm. That is the length of bacteria. After enlarging. So without enlarge, if you want to find the actual length, then it is 5 divided 50,000. So we get 1 by 10,000. Okay. So that is what 10 raised to minus. So that will be the length of bacteria. Now, if the photograph is enlarged 20,000 times only, what would be the enlarged length in the centimeter? So here we can write length in centimeter and enlarged. So length in centimeter is 5 when it is enlarged 50,000 times. So when it is enlarged 20,000 times, what would be the length in a centimeter? If we decrease the enlarging size, length in centimeter is also decreased. If we increase enlarged size, then enlarge means we expand the photograph. So if we increase the enlarged size, then centimeter is also increased, photograph centimeter is also increased. That's why it is in a direct proportion. If one quantity increase, other is also increased. If one quantity decrease, other is also decreased. That's why it is a direct proportion. So we can write x1 divided by 1 is equal to x2 divided by 2. This is the equation we consider for direct proportion. So here 5 divided 50,000 is equal to, here we can consider x2 by 20,000. So if you want to find x2, take 20,000 here. So that will be 20,000 multiplied 5 divided 50,000. So that will be 2 centimeter. If we enlarge this 20,000 times, then length of photograph will be 2 centimeter. Clear? So let's write it here so it will be visible. 5 multiplied 20,000 divide 50,000. So that will be our x2. 4 0 will be cancelled out. 5 5 will be cancelled out. So x2 will be. Now next, example 6. In model of sheet, the mast is 9 cm high while mast of actual sheet So if we consider this kind of sheet, then this will be the mast. So in a model, length of mast is 9 centimeter when actual length of mast is 12 meter. So if the length of sheet is 28 meter, how long the model of sheet? Now if the model of sheet, if the size of mast is increased, then in a model we also need to increase. And if size of sheep is decreased, then in a model is also decreased. Why? Because here it is written that mast is 9 centimeter when actual mast is 12 meter. So if we decrease this mass actual length, then in a model we also need to decrease. And if we increase this length of mast of actual sheep, then in a model we also need to decrease. So this is in a direct proportion. So in a model and actual length are in a direct proportion. That's why we need to write equation that we use for direct proportion. So we can write length of actual sheet and length in a model. Now you can see length in a model is given in a centimeter and length of actual sheet is in a meter. So we need to write in a centimeter and this one is in a meter. So when it is 12 meter, length of mast is 9 in a model, and we need to find when sheet is 28 meter, what is the length of model. Here you can write model as x and actual length as a y, then it is also correct. Here I consider this one as the x and model as a y. So here this will be our x1, y1, x2, y2. Now it is in a direct proportion. So we can write x1 divided by 1 is equal to x2 divided by 1. Our right values. So here we get 12 by 9 is equal to 28 by 2. Cross multiply by 2 with 12, 28 by 9. 12 will be in a divide. So by 2 will be 21 centimeter. So length of sheet in a model will be 21 centimeter. Now next example 7. Suppose 2 kg of sugar contain 9 multiplied 10 raised to 6 crystals. How many sugar crystals are there in 5 kg of sugar and 1.2 kg of sugar? So here the question is what? If weight of sugar is increased, if you buy 1 kg of sugar, then the number of crystal will be some numbers. And if you buy 2 kg of sugar, then crystal number will be increased. If you buy 5 kg, then again number of crystals are increasing. So that's why when we increase the weight of sugar, number of crystals are also increased. If we increase weight of sugar, then number of crystals are also increased. So that will be in a direct proportion. Weight and number of crystals are in a direct proportion. If we increase the weight, number of crystals are increased, and if we decrease the weight, then number of crystals will also decrease. So here we need to apply the concept of direct proportion. So we can write number of crystals and weight of sugar are in direct proportion. So here we can make a table. Now you can write weight of sugar and number of crystal, or you can write number of crystal and weight of sugar. Both will give the same answer. So we can write weight of sugar, that will be in a kg, and number of crystals So when number of weight is 2 kg, number of crystals are 9 into 10 raised to 6. We need to find when it is 5 kg, what is the number of crystals, and when it is 1.2 kg, what is the number of crystals. So this value will be x1 y1, this will be x2 y2, this will be x3 y3. So to find x by 2, we need to first consider x1 divided by 1 is equal to x2 divided by 2. x1 is 2, 9 multiplied by 10 raised to 6, that is our y1. x2 is 5, we need to find y. y2 multiplied with 2, 9 multiplied with 5. Now 2 will be in a divide. 45 multiplied by 10 raised to 6 divide. So divide 45 by 2. So you will get 22.5 multiplied by 10 raised to 6. That is number of crystals. Here you can write 2.25 to 10 raised to 7. Then it is also correct. Now next, x1 y1 is equal to x3 y3. So here x1 is 2, y1 is 9 into 10 raised to 6, 1.2 and y2. Cross multiply. So 2 is multiplied with y3, 1.2 is multiplied with 9, 10 raised to 6. 2 will be in a divide. So y3 is equal to 1.2 multiplied 9 into 10 raised to 6 divide. So this will give 0.6. So 5.4 multiplied 10 raised to 6. That will be number of crystals when it is 1.2 kg, and this will give the number of crystals when it is 5 kg. 22.5 you can write it as a 2.25 to 10 raised to 7. Clear? Now next one. Rashmi has a road map with a scale of 1 cm representing 18 km. So first scale is given 1 cm, it means 18 km. She drives on a road for 72 km. What would her distance covered in a map? So that is a map, and on a map scale is 1 cm is 18 km. Means if we draw a line of 1 cm, if this is 1 cm, then this represents 18 km. So if she drives 72 km, what would be the map? What would be the distance on a map in a centimeter? So if we increase the centimeter, then the distance will increase, and if we decrease the centimeter, distance is also decreased. So that's why it is in a direct proportion. So we can write distance on a map and actual distance are in direct proportion. That's why we need to use equation for direct proportion. So we can write actual distance, that is in a kilometer, and distance on a map, that is in a centimeter. So if it is 18 km, distance in a map is 1 centimeter. So if she covers 22 km, what is the distance in a map? So x1 y1, this is our x2 y1. Now it is in a direct proportion, so we can write x1 divided by 1 is equal to x2 divided by 2. So 18 divided 1 is equal to 70 divided by 2. So y2 multiplied with 18 and 1 multiplied with 72. Now we need to find y2, so 18 will be in a divide. y2 will be 4 cm.